But first today, from Boxing Day, sporting events in Wales will be played behind closed doors as cases of coronavirus continue to rise. So for more on this story, we're joined now by our reporter James Cole. James, we'll look at where we stand in England and Scotland shortly. Let's get straight to Wales, though, because that's the main bit of news. What are the main events affected by the new restrictions, then?
Cardiff against the Scarlets in rugby union is the first game, major event affected. That was due to be played on Boxing Day. Cardiff have released a statement this morning. They say they're disappointed by the decision. They say they actually wanted to get the game postponed, moved to a later date where fans could attend, but the league, the URC, United Rugby Championship, declined. Ospreys versus Dragons, also in the URC, had already been postponed, so that's not affected. In football, Cardiff City against Coventry on Boxing Day had also already been called off, so that's not affected. But Swansea, they're away at Millwall, but then they'll miss out on gates against Luton and Fulham, and then also significantly the visit of Southampton in the FA Cup on January the 8th. So that's football and rugby. But the other big event to lose out is the Welsh Grand National at Chepstow on December the 27th. That will run behind closed doors. And we can hear now from Phil Bell, who is the course's executive director.
We are talking to the Welsh Government about a compensation package. We've been asked to supply our costs and our revenue losses to them, and that's going into the mix for a decision. I'm hoping in the next couple of weeks. They have said that they don't want one positive piece of news in this tricky areas, that they have said they want to try and get a decision about compensation to us. You know, they don't want it to drag on for months. They want to try and sort that out in a much shorter time frame. So, yeah, that does help. I mean, it's an expensive race meeting to put on. We spent £40,000 on marquees alone, just one small element of the event. So, yeah, that's a help that they are aware that there are significant losses involved.
OK, so those are some of the biggest events affected then, but this isn't just elite sport, is it, James?
No, this is all levels. This is at community level as well. The Welsh Government say sporting event refers to all indoor or outdoor sporting events, whether ticketed or not, with spectators. So if you think over Christmas and New Year period, people are on holiday in communities across Wales, going to watch your local rugby club, that's a huge social gathering. Those clubs are going to miss out, individuals are going to miss out, communities are going to miss out. In terms of what we're hearing there from Phil Bell, how long this might last, it's understood this will be in place until at least January the 7th. The other thing to note as well, though, a little bit of good news, Welsh Economy Minister Vaughan Gething says a £3 million fund will be available to support clubs and venues. So a small bit of good news among this, obviously devastating news for big major sport, elite sport, but also community sport.
Yeah, absolutely. That is Wales then. So what about the English and Scottish governments? Are they likely to follow suit, do you think, now, James?
That's the million-dollar question, isn't it? It's changing all the time. And the honest answer is we don't know. At the moment, in England, yesterday we heard from Boris Johnson, didn't we? He said he reserves the right to impose further restrictions at any time. He's monitoring it hour by hour. But today, as of this morning, there are no plans for the government or the DCMS to implement these measures, bring in any measures that would affect sport. There's also, at the moment, no cabinet meeting scheduled for today. That could, of course, change. In Scotland, however, the Scottish Government is holding a cabinet meeting this morning before deciding if large events, including sporting fixtures, can go ahead as normal. And we're expecting to hear from First Minister Nicola Sturgeon from 2 p.m. today.
Right, OK. James, thank you very much.